back. So if you got part one of this stream, then you'll know that I had to step outside for a brief moment. I thought I had to go to an office, but apparently I could do what I needed to do remotely. So it's to do with my house purchase, which I'm doing today, and luckily, crisis averted. Don't have to do anything else. Hopefully, get the keys for the new place in the next hour or two. So that's when the stream will stop for real. Okay. So I was in the middle. If you watch part one of the stream, I was in the middle of getting Whisky working, and I figured out that it was to do with screen mirroring. So what I was doing was that Steam wouldn't load, and I remember this was an issue back in the day when I was testing out Game Porting Toolkit for the first time. I couldn't actually get this running because I was trying to screen mirror, because I'm a content creator. I want to use my beautiful Mac screen to do this the whole gaming thing, and couldn't do it because of screen mirroring. So and it would crash constantly, and I couldn't figure it out for like a whole day. It was like really annoying me a lot, trying to figure out what was actually going wrong. So anyway, I can see here that basically we're not screen mirroring at the moment. I want to get Whisky working properly. And so I've got the built-in display. I've got my 4K 60 Elgato. And what I want to do is basically turn off my main display. So I guess what I'm going to do is turn off my lid, turn my lid down. Let's do that. Well, so in clamshell mode, that should automatically... Is that going to work? No, I need to open this up. High-tech game dev. I think what I need to do is make this the main display instead of the extended. Right, and then I'll turn off the camera view, and I'll turn this down. Okay, so my screen is off. You can see this in the corner here. That's my Mac. Now I've only got one display on. Okay, so gaming through the OBS preview window, that is one thing I didn't really want to do, but here we go. Okay, let's log into Steam. Let's do it. Use my phone to do it. Here we go. Approved. Okay, so let's give this a good shot. Let's allow Whisky to go. Fix this first problem. Okay. So yeah, if you caught my last stream, you'll know I had to step out briefly, and I'm going to treat myself to a nice hot chocolate. I'm waiting for my house to come. A new house. Hopefully I'm going to get the keys in the next few hours. Okay, so Steam's loaded up. And what I want to do is like kind of do a benchmark of how quickly Steam can load. So I've loaded up Steam. I've logged in. Okay, so we'll do kind of a benchmark now. Let's double click on Steam. How many seconds we're on? I don't have anything with seconds, timers. It shouldn't take more than a minute, right? I can configure the bottle too. So MSync is already turned on. I'm going to turn the metal HUD on. Where's the setting for in Whisky? Where's the setting for D3D metal? Is D3D metal automatically turned on? I don't know. Any Whisky experts here? I'm using the M3 Max 48 gigabytes of RAM, 40 GPU cores. Very fast machine. I will be comparing it against the top spec M4 MacBook Pro M4 Max. Yep, this is Whisky. This is a continuation of the last stream. I had to cut the last stream about half an hour ago. I had to do something. Now I'm back. So with this version of my configuration, this is all new to me. I've not really used this before. What's the control panel? Okay. Okay, so there's no option to turn on D3D metal. Okay, it's good. Let's do that again. I want to benchmark the speed that Steam opens using Whisky 1.7.7. Double click. I'll count how long this takes in the video editor. It's a game porting toolkit wrapper, but game porting toolkit can be, there are more components to game porting toolkit than just D2D Metal. You can also use it to run DirectX 9 games, which don't use D2D Metal at all. And so there's valid reasons why you might not want to have D2D Metal turned on. You can see that there's an option for DXVK, but that's not necessarily something that you want to use. You might want to use the Wine D3D, which is an option on CrossOver anyway. Okay, so we've got our game. Let's have a look. Now I'm going to add my NAS. So as many of you know, I have a gigantic NAS full of installed Windows games. So I don't have to reinstall everything. Always install your games outside the bottle. It's much more efficient. Okay, so I was going to run a Cyberpunk 2077 benchmark. Let's sync this cloud sync. I don't really expect there to be any difference at all. I think again, yeah, I'm definitely, after yesterday, in the live stream I did yesterday, I bought £11,400 worth of Macs. So I bought six M4 Macs. All three configurations of the MacBook Pro with M4 Pro and M4 Max. I bought the two Mac Minis, so the base Mac Mini M4 and the Mac Mini with the M4 Pro, and also bought a base iMac as well with 8GB of RAM and 8 GPU cores. £11,400, guys. Yeah, I haven't heard any reports of I haven't heard any reports of the new Black Ops 6 working yet. Forza Horizon 4 or 5 not working on the Mac at the moment. Who did I rob? I didn't rob anyone. Just did good content creation. I also hope I do not get blocked from returns, because that would be pretty devastating to me. I mean, I'll still be able to sell the Macs. I'll probably get like 70% of my money back, 60%. But if I couldn't return, then that would be bad. But I've heard people return loads of stuff. I had a conversation years ago with there's a YouTuber called Created Tech asking about his returns, because he does loads of returns as well. And none of us have had issues so far. I think if I got blocked from returns, I'd have to start a dummy company or something. So do I work? This is my job. This is my work. This is more than half of my income is from YouTube. But I have a lot of other investments and passive income as well. Bro, can you help me for my M1 Mac? Can I run Forza Horizon 3? No, but you can run Forza Horizon 2 using Xbox 360 emulation. Made a video on it before. I read a thread about this one guy who kept buying different iPhone configurations over and over again and returning them. I'm so excited for Cyberpunk to become native, Sean says. Looking forward to HDR native support for my DualSense controller. I'm looking forward to it too. Yeah, one bugbear is through Wine is the controller support. It's a lot better through CrossOver Preview. Oh, definitely let me know whether Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered works, because the original Horizon Zero Dawn works great through CrossOver. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let me know if the background noise is too loud. So I want a bit of music. I'll turn it down a bit more. I'm going to turn it down to -20. Can you hear the Cyberpunk menu music here? Sound okay? With Battle Royale games like Fortnite work in the future? No, but apparently Naraka Blade works, so I'm going to definitely try that. Okay, let's go to settings. And let's go to graphics. Okay, let's do medium. Let's do high. Let's see if the FSR bug still applies in thingy benchmark. Frame generation's off, right? It's running at 1080p. Yeah, we're just doing a comparison benchmark. So this is the high preset. Nothing else has changed. Let's run the benchmark. We'll run it twice to make sure that this is correct. It should. So I don't anticipate any changes between. I'm going to run this through CrossOver and through Whisky as well. So we're running through Whisky at the moment. You've been popping up on my feed recently. Yeah, I've been making a lot of content recently. I hope I don't burn out too quickly, but the M4 chip kind of cycle is relatively short, so I'm going to try to make the most of it. You know, because after about 2 weeks after these M4 chips are released, it's basically kind of dead. There are plenty of macOS game releases between now and Christmas, but it'd be interesting to see. So normally I would try to record this with, you see my Mac here, with the screen as well, because I like to cut between the screen and the capture. But this time I'm just looking through the screen. So this Mac has 48 gigabytes of RAM, and this game is only using 9 gigs at the moment, but it can easily use over 10 or 12 if I run this at high resolution. Do I think there's a fix for Battle.net launcher? I'm going to try this out because one thing I want to test out today is Diablo 4, which works on CrossOver. So what I'll do is after I run the Cyberpunk 2077 benchmark for the set twice, I'll get the second result, and then I'll switch from Whisky to CrossOver, preview, and try it through there and see if there's any difference in speed. I don't think there's going to be any because the limit is really D3D metal. I will make a tutorial on running Overwatch for Mac, but it's not working at the moment. Apparently a lot of Windows users are having issues with Overwatch 2 on Windows, so not really going to help that much. Okay, so we have a score of 57.84. Let's try it again. Always run these twice. Do I have any suggestions on how to fix it? No. I am not the source of fixes, I'm afraid. I can't fix games because I'm not intelligent enough, and I'm not a programmer. I'm not really anything, really. I'm just not good at. I'm not good at much. There should be in-game audio. Oh, I know why it's not coming up. It's because I didn't mix in the thing with the first track. So now can you hear the in-game audio? Hopefully it's not overpowering my voice, right? I put it at minus 27.5 decibels. So let me know in the chat, can you hear the game audio? Do you want me to turn it up or down? It'd be nice to see you test the M4 and M4 Pro base chip to understand how much it has improved compared to the M1 and M1 Pro base. Yeah, I've bought all of those chips, so I'm going to do all of them. By the way, I'm loving the informative videos you're doing, the new ones where you discuss tech-related news, code, BL, XE. Yeah, I've been experimenting with the format. I've done 3 of them so far. The first one did really well, the second one really badly, third one did really well. I'm not sure it's because the way that I talk or maybe the thumbnail, or I'm not really sure, but I will continue doing them. I'll need a bit more data to see whether it's good or bad or not. I'm going to turn up the audio a little bit more. So let's put it at minus 22. So 58.23 average FPS. Let's do it one more time, okay? Because it's easier to sync up the benchmarks if I have a bit of audio to put them all together, which is good. Good. Yeah, I really love your news videos. Okay, great. I'm glad, because a lot of the stuff that happens in Mac gaming is not. I feel like it's like not worth doing a whole video on. But it's nice to compile them, because when I make a video, when I research a piece of information, like, you know, I do loads of research, and it seems like a waste to not talk about it. Back. Yes, I'm back. Congrats on the house. I haven't got the keys yet, but once I do, I'm leaving the stream and you suckers behind, so it's good. Oh god, I spilled tea on myself. I'll check the temperature straight away after I get this bench done. Bro, in my base M1, I really want to run Cyberpunk. Can you help me? You can run Cyberpunk if you've got 16 gigabytes of RAM. I think that the native version will run better than running it through CrossOver. So I really think that that will make a big difference. If the M1 or if the ports that run really well, like Resident Evil 4, which is a newer game than Cyberpunk 2077, and Death Stranding as well, which isn't newer, but it's up there. Okay, 58.24. So let's get a bit of gameplay as well. So we're running at medium, 1080p. I think you could change up the thumbnails a bit more. Yeah. If anyone's a good thumbnail editor, then let me know, because I'm bad at thumbnails. Canva, which is this like web-based Photoshop type tool, is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me. So I really don't know how to do it. Let me load up a save, and I'll do a manual save so I'll get the same gameplay. Yeah. I don't know what I did a test for thumbnails on the news pieces, right? And one thing that I found was that I did one of my face going like this, and then another of my of just a laptop, and the laptop one performed better. I'm not sure it's because I put the M4 chip as a thing on it, but I'm not sure. What am I doing here? I need to just. I was going to do a manual save. How do I manually save? I can't see this because I'm using the preview. Yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, just find me on Discord and just private message me. I'll find it in the next day or two, most likely. Let me just get my. Just need my inverted. Okay, let's roll. Okay, so as far as I can tell, this is pretty much the same. Adding a metal renderer to an engine must not be trivial. Yeah, I think it's not trivial, but you know they have a lot of experience with this CD Projekt Red. I'm not sure how many developers are still working on this game after they've released the expansion pack. It's probably not that many. Okay, so I've got this car driving down this bit. 50 to 60 FPS, 1080p high. FSR set to quality mode, I think, based on this preset. So this is fine. Okay, good. Okay, good. So let's close this down. And then what I'm going to do is load up CrossOver preview. And then we'll run the same game, do the same benchmark, because, you know, I don't expect this to change anything. So running through MSync and D3D Metal. I do have the one, yeah, this should be fine. So CrossOver preview, this, I'll do it with the lid down as well, so that we have consistent, I can't see my consistent stuff. Let me see, I can't see my thing. So this is the latest version of CrossOver preview, the one that came out like 2 days ago. So that's good. Okay, so that makes sense. Did they outsource the Witcher ports? I don't know, actually. Okay, do you think add icons are the topics of the thumbnail, not so many bullet points? I don't think people actually know what the... I'm not sure that would help, to be honest. I think probably fewer words would help. I don't know. It would be interesting thing to see if someone can make an alternate. The thing is that with thumbnails, that I can actually just test them. With YouTube Studio now, a lot of creators got the option to A/B test the thumbnails, so I can do a test and see which thumbnail performs better. I'm going to try and find the one that I did the other day. It's quite funny. Let me find it. Speaking of thumbnails. I'll just copy this into my... I'll show you all my thumb. While this Steam Cloud settings are downloading, I'll just show you my thumbnail, which I did. Yeah, so I know my thumbnail's a bit crap, right? This is my thumbnail from one of my news videos, right? And you can do an A/B test and see which one performs the best. So I've got me here wearing the same t-shirt, I'm shaved, and then looking at this and looking at this, and then a laptop instead. And this one's performed marginally better. And actually, I took a screenshot later, and it did a lot better, nearly 40%. And this A/B test the watch time as well. So you click on it's not just baiting you for a click on the YouTube video. It's also monitoring how much time the viewer actually watches it. So it's matching up watch time and thumbnail click-through rate. So it's interesting that the one without my face actually performed better. So it's all about experimentation. I'd love to hear some external ideas about. Keep in mind, yeah, these were not in the margin of error. This is like it got closer to. Let me see if I got a close, more recent version of this thumbnail issue. Because I ran the test for a while, and after a few hours, right, you kind of know, you know which one is you know which one performs better at the end of the day. Let me just find it. Yeah, this is the recent one. I'll just copy it from my main computer. Yeah, I'll just show you. Well, this is taking ages for this to download. This one here. This is what it ended up being. Oh yeah, it's not 40%, but it's close. It's a clear winner. It's a clear winner, and I only ran it for like 6 hours or something, but it's obvious which one's better. Yeah, the words are a bit hard to read. I guess I need maybe I'll put like a gradient on the back. Yeah, I didn't know part 2 would be so soon. I just thought I had an issue that I dealt with the conveyancing solicitor, and now should get the keys to the new house soon. Can you advise me the M4 Pro or the M4? I do 3D and gaming, but I mainly ask for RAM than power. Generally speaking, the M4 Pro, okay, generally speaking, you just buy the most Mac that you can buy, okay, that you can afford. And I think that there is a big difference. There's a big difference between the base chip and the Pro chip. It's almost double the GPU count. So with the base M4, for example, you get 8 or 10 GPU cores, or of the M4 Pro, you get 16 or 20. Right, so it's basically double of the base core count. It makes a huge difference for gaming. In the past, like 3 or 4 years ago, I'd say, don't buy a Mac for gaming. It is waste of money and time. But these days, with all of these native AAA ports and all these games coming in the future, and with the fact that Windows translation layers are working so well, I would maybe invest that money, because if you only have space for like one device, and you only want to maintain one device, and you want to use a nice Mac screen, then yeah, it might be worth doing. Okay, let's launch. Elder Doyle, hit me up on Discord. If you do it, if you mention in chat now, then I will. I get loads of messages every day. So let me know, and I'll accept your message request now. You'll find me on the Apple Gaming Wiki Discord. It's links in the description. I'm buying a house. Yes, I'm buying a house today. I still want to buy a Mac for gaming. Thanks. Yeah, I think somebody's messaged me about thumbnail design. I'm not sure if it's the same person, but anyway, I've accepted the request. Games are quite playable. Max these days, not the posting. Yeah, exactly. It's playable. This is what we're doing. We have playability, not the ideal way to play a game. Okay, certainly not. Maybe I can do thumbnails like tech linked. Well, I was trying to copy another successful YouTuber, more successful than me, called Mr. Sujano. Okay, and his thumbnail are pretty good. Let me get out my stuff. Mr. Who's tech linked? Tech linked? Is this the Oh, this is the Linus Tech Tips channel. What is that? Yeah. The thing is, I've become more and more open to doing thumbnails like this. This is a good one. And for floating in space with a face, like I don't know if I can do a face like that. And what I was trying to copy is this guy called Mr. Sujano, who's he's a very consistent YouTuber. I guess his text is a lot bigger. I was trying to cram too much stuff in one place. Yeah, I think maybe he doesn't put that much words on that many words on here. Some of it's big, some of it's small. Respect this guy a lot. He's he has good information and very consistent. Like he'll do a video in he goes like hiking and camping a lot for some reason. So like more than half his videos are like outdoors. Which is hilarious when you think about the majority of viewers are probably just sitting at home on a couch or something, looking at this through their phone, thinking about retro game emulation on their devices. Anyway, that's him. Maybe this is a good idea. I mean, the thing about Linus Tech Tips is they have like a guy doing it. I need some like direction, right? Like somebody needs to tell me. So much about YouTube, right? It's just like getting over yourself. I think like, why is this not syncing? I need the save games to sync so I get the same save games as on the Whisky side. Yeah, so much of this is just getting over yourself. I need someone to say to me like, "Oh, I need you to do like 10 faces like this." Like that, right? And then I'll Photoshop you into like all the stuff. So this guy probably, I forgot what this guy's name is, right? But he's probably did all the faces. Okay. Let's close this to free up some RAM. Come on. Let's play it anyway. Okay, I think I've got the autosave because I think when I quit Whisky on Steam, it didn't upload the last save that I did, but it shouldn't matter that much. Yeah, too much stuff isn't as appealing. You're right, Lorenzo. I think I'll try. Why use words when few words do good, right? Perfect, got your response. Send me detailed response. Yeah, I'll thanks, Eldar. I'll message you back later. I mean, just a forewarning first before I go into like engaging any kind of third-party contractors or helpers, right? Is that as much as I would appreciate more YouTube thumbnail help, it is not a priority for me. My thumbnails work, even albeit poorly, and I'm okay. I'm actually okay with that. I don't necessarily need to like my attitude is that I don't really need to to do anything at a really high level. Did I put the preset to high or medium? I forgot. Can someone go back in time and just tell me, did I do high or medium like about 15 minutes ago? I think I did it at high. Can someone in the chat tell me which one I did? Oh, good, I didn't turn the metal HUD on. Yeah, it was high. Okay, good. Okay, I'll just remove my head so I can see the frame rate. .56 frames per second is not too bad. People discuss. I think they were. My thumbnails are fine. It's just the news ones where I've got lots of text on screen because I think people are saying there's too much text, which I think is true. And I'm okay. I'm happy to accept constructive criticism because YouTube, right? If you make content for a living, like I do, right? YouTube is a constant. It's constantly about evolving, right? So you have to. And what I found, right, is that putting myself out of my comfort zone actually makes the content better. So, for example, you know, I did faceless videos for a long time, and you know, if you just get over yourself, I think that having face on camera is a lot more engaging. Okay, 58.69. Okay, let's turn on the metal HUD. Do this again. So it's the same. It's the same speed, but I just want the HUD on. So you can do this by doing this. This is one way of doing it. I can hear the fans creaking up a bit. There's also this method too, but you have to do that before CrossOver launches. So a workaround is just doing it through the environmental variable that you add here. Yeah, it's fine for the videos to have text. I just think, I think the criticism is correct. There needs to be less text because it's hard to read. Yeah, I'm not as seasoned a YouTuber as Mr. Sujano is, who seems to be publishing every single weekday that exists. Very consistent. I have a lot of respect for the grind of this because there's something about the speed at which you create content. I think that there's a lot of people who do reaction content or do content without any kind of editing, and I have a lot of respect for that because I can't do that. I think I would be more successful in general if I edited myself less, but I kind of obviously impossible to do while live, but I find it a bit easier to do when I produce content, even basic tutorials. I don't like parts of my voice, so I just edit it out. Okay, that's good. Let's do this benchmark again. So high preset, run benchmark. So it got about 58. It is not enough. The other benchmark for Whisky, we did 58. We have the same condition, same laptop. It's closed in a clamshell position. Okay, dude, I see you stream for 8 hours testing games, and I respect that grind. Yeah, I find it really fun. I like engaging with an audience. I think it's easier than doing real videos, right? And I find that if I don't, I find lately anyway, that being able to interact with an audience is actually extremely useful because it just means that I'm able to draw on the audience's help to get things working, right? So I can get things, sometimes I just get stuck trying to get something done and I just can't get forward, and then somebody types in the chat, oh, you got to do this, right? Like just now in the last stream that I did like an hour ago, trying to get Whisky to run, you know, it wouldn't run with a mirrored screen, and you know, someone typed that into chat, and you know, this is something I should have known because last year when I was trying to get the same thing working through Apple's wine environment, you know, I couldn't get Steam to open or any games to open because I was mirroring my screen, because I always mirror my screen when I use a MacBook and then a capture card, and I've been doing it for a long time now, and I just forgot, and then this time I forgot, and it's extremely helpful. Anyway, okay, 58.07 again. Let's just do a bit of gameplay so we get some comparison footage. PS3 emulation on Macs, is it doable? Yes, I've made a lot of videos about our PCS3 working on a Mac. We have a native ARM version as well, which is limited compatibility, but a lot of potential progress to be made there. NSFW star. I'm also a content creator and I can understand we have to improve, but at least in my humble opinion, the thumbnails are fine. I F that memory. Yeah. There's a difference between, you know, fine and there's like a thumbnail meta as well. You know, there's what other people are doing and you can do the opposite of that. You know, I'm not going to pretend like my thumbnails are perfect forever. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement for everyone. So, okay, let's go. Okay, so we've got FSR on here. It'd be really interesting to see this game with, you know, frame generation, native metal frame generation working on a Mac. I'd really like to see this going, to see how this goes. Wow. Yeah, so in terms of this game, anyway, I don't see any particular difference running this title, whether through Whisky or through CrossOver. Basically looks and feels, question exactly the same place. It looks and feels exactly the same. Maybe 1% better on CrossOver. This is CrossOver preview, you know, the fastest CrossOver you can get. So that's my quick test of that. Running 2 benchmarks and a tiny bit of gameplay, probably all you need. Okay, so let's do the other thing. Okay, so CrossOver preview. Let's run. Okay, let's try to run some Diablo 4. Okay, let's try to run Battle on that. So when people are having issues, people are saying specifically they're having issues with Overwatch 2. I wonder if actually it's that actually we can get other games working like Diablo 4. Let's get Diablo 2 working first. Let's see if did I update this? Oh, this is really old. Am I gonna have to download this game again? Did I do this before? I can't remember. Did I do this already? Where's my Battle.net Windows folder? I'm so predictable when I'm naming my folders to have enough space. Did I remember? Did I have the foresight to copy the correct games over? Because I have it on my NAS, but then I have to copy it locally because it doesn't. Battle.net does not like having games in on a network drive at all. Let's go Diablo 4 copied over. 2.5 gigabit Ethernet means that this should copy pretty fast. Okay, good. Okay. So apparently Battle.net doesn't work on Whisky. Does anyone have any information about the way that Whisky works? I don't really know. Metal Effects is the hardware upscaler. I wonder if they'll reuse the name, you know, to actually talk about frame generation, because it's quite an interesting one. Yeah, Whisky seems pretty good. If you are serious about gaming, though, a PC is pretty much unbeatable in terms of value. I'm using the MacBook Pro M3 Max, 48 gigabytes of RAM and 40 GPU cores. Okay, let's do this. I hope I have to download this all over again because I forgot to. I downloaded it again and I should have copied it to the NAS again. I might have to like redo something, which will really slow down this whole stream. Really annoying. Metal Intelligence, yeah. Well, I had an interesting conversation with Mystical OS, who's a World of Warcraft Mac streamer and also the author of Deadly Boss Mods, and he thought that maybe you could use leverage the machine learning cores, the AI Apple Intelligence cores for gaming. Like why not? If you could use there's so much investment made in like there's so much investment made in you know in this in the AI cores on all those new chips. They're always talking about how fast they are. If they could be leveraged in the same way that NVIDIA utilize the cores on the NVIDIA chips for DLSS, right? Then why couldn't we use frame generation cores, on Apple Silicon GPUs, right? It's a good idea. I'm sure it's much more complicated than just saying, oh yeah, just use the cores, use the spare cores. Okay, so we're going to users. Right, is it going to have to re-download it all? It seems to think it's on the Y drive. Oh God, I fucking hate this sometimes. It doesn't like that so the same path, right? Oh God. And it can't remove it without I've got to uninstall it. I don't want it to delete it because I just did it. Let me just locate the files. Just use different folder. I don't want it to think we're in the Y drive. So if I go through here, it'll think I'm in the Y drive. I want to go to my computer, users. I know, I've got to put it inside the bottle. Stupid me, stupid me. This isn't necessary for most people. You don't need to do this, most people, but I need to put it in the application support folder of CrossOver. And then the thing will see it without it thinking we're on a network drive, which Battle.net kind of throws a hissy fit about. So if I put it in my Battle.net launcher in the C drive. Okay, so if we put that in the C drive, then I think it's local to the computer. Yeah, updating, good. And let's do Diablo 2 as well. So let's locate that, same place, C drive. Just make it fool it into thinking that it's in the correct place. Okay, there's a small patch here. Good. Okay, good. Let me just check chat. Okay, FSR3 is very bad. Okay. I think FSR3 is probably the blueprint that MetalFX is going to be on. There's a high possibility that MetalFX is just FSR3. Have I got EAFC? No, I do not own EAFC. Ah, Mendoxe. 122 gigabyte download. Okay, let's pause. Let's nix that. Let's install this instead. Surely this will go faster. 30 gigs. God, so big. Ugh, I didn't have. I deleted these game files, and then I should copy them back. What I need to do is copy them back into my NAS so I can save a lot of time. That's the whole point of having. How much space do I have on my NAS? About 70 terabytes, 80 terabytes of space on my NAS is to store all the stuff that I have to download again. But in my new house, I'm going to have faster internet. So I don't have fiber at my new house. There's no fiber internet, which would have given me 500 or 1,000 megabit. But because it's an old Victorian property, and the street I have doesn't have fiber connected up, there is a technology called GFast or SOGFast, which is available, which will get me to 150 megabit, which is still going to be a hell of a lot better than what I've got now. This Mac is connected to a 5G router, which is expensive and crap. Okay. Yeah, I've got a NAS. I've got two NASs. One is called Jigglypuff, and one is called Snorlax. So Snorlax contains all my video recordings for all the videos I've done, and then I've got media. This is my Plex library. Yeah, I did some chatting while I'm waiting for this to happen. There's my Plex. I love Plex. This is my movie library. I was watching a bit of Equilibrium with my son the other day. Such a good film. But yeah, this is my local collection of like local streaming on my NAS. This is all the TV shows that I've collected over time. Bit of mix of everything. And then I've got movies here, all the films that I've got. I've just watched The Giver. My son just read the book, so we've watched a film of that. It's pretty good. Well, it's not good. The ending was terrible, but I thought it was interesting, having not read the book. And then some of the films I've collected. These are all alphabetical order. Yeah, so this is my Plex library. So I've got many terabytes of films. A lot of them are in 4K. This one's in 4K, right? So this is like digital hoarding. I've hoarded a lot of like rubbish over the years, and I really like Plex because it's integration with mobile, and it's got like a really good Mac app as well, so I can download films to my local computer and take it with me, and it all synchronizes my watching and all this stuff. Yeah, so that's one reason I use that's one reason that I use a NAS. So I've got my NAS here. It's connected by 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, which is pretty fast. Got my time machine. I've got all my games as well. So these are all games that I've got installed. I've got this it's like 16 or 17 terabytes now, this Steam Windows library. Got my Steam Mac library here. All the games I've downloaded for Mac OS here. And there's loads of stuff which I'm trying to avoid downloading. Like right now I'm downloading this game, Diablo II Resurrected, which is very annoying because the version that I had working before is too old. I think both of these I need to bin all of them, to be honest, because they're too old. Yeah, because they need mega patching. And so I need to copy them back here, because normally I'd run them Battle.net straight to the NAS, but this kind of throws a fit if it knows that you're trying to run this from a remote drive. Yeah, my NAS spec. Yeah, you can find the videos on my second channel. I set up the NAS TS664 and TS664. So I've got all my setup videos on my NAS are all here. This is a QNAP. There's some tutorials and stuff. I've got a whole series about the QNAP. I like the QNAP ones because the software's okay, and then also it's good for. It has a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet built in. It's a 6-bay drive. Here we are. This is how I set it up like over a year ago. You can install RAM, install SSDs for caching. It's really good, really good and quiet. And I put 12 terabyte drives in, so I've got 12 terabyte drives in one. I've got 2 of these now, so they're really good. I use hard drives because it's the most cost-effective way of building. Is that a dad thing? Minedef hoards data as well. Yeah, I think maybe a millennial thing because it's like I'm trying to hoard all the stuff that I could never have when I was young. I remember my brother. Well, he's more of a Gen X, right? But he's when he was young, we used to get these long play VHSs, and he used to tape the episodes of The Simpsons, and he built up a collection of all the episodes of like a single season, and it took him ages because you got to like record it and make sure that he had the long play one, which was like a 3-hour VHS or something, because they're normally 1.5 hours. Yeah, how much have I spent on one NAS setup? Well, each hard drive is like £200 or £300, so like 2.5K on one NAS. Got 2 of them, right? £5,000. It's a lot of money. But once I got the NAS right, it really revolutionized the way I've done recording. Now I just don't worry about my recordings anymore. I just don't worry about storage anymore. It's just not a concern. And I have a backup system as well, and it's pretty much business critical. You know, like the most important part of my whole setup is this the NAS setup, just making sure it works correctly. And I really underestimated by getting only one NAS. I really thought, oh yeah, this is all I ever need, right? Is one NAS. Yeah, as you can see, people are interested in my NAS setup, right? It's what have I got here? This tells me. Let me see shared folders. This tells me the size. So yeah, 18 terabytes of games. I was wrong there. It's 18 terabytes. 1.5 of Time Machine. So that's one of my NASs. I'm not gonna log into the other one. And then the other one contains all my video recordings for all the footage that I'm recording right now, and then all of the films and stuff that I've collected over the years. All these zillions of films which I'll never watch. It's collecting like a digital hoarder. Okay, NS not safe for work star. Have to go before I get. Well, let's say thank you. Say that you can buy a Mac for gaming, but it's a bad idea buying a Mac for crossover or monetization thereby. True. I mean, don't buy a Mac for gaming is really the bottom line here, but crossover is okay. Thanks for joining the stream, NSFW star. Oh, you said you were like a content creator. Maybe I'll have a look. Is there somebody? Is this good for stuff? I think maybe I shouldn't be typing in the word NSFW into Google at this on the live stream. Probably a bad idea. I had my M3 Pro 18GB like 4 months ago. Should I upgrade to M4 Pro base one? If you upgrade, okay, so the M4 Pro base is actually a downgrade for RAM, so you're only going to get 16 gigabytes rather than 18, which is interesting. It's probably run about 20% faster in games. Yeah, I wouldn't think too hard about it. Okay, I'm 58% in. Good. 58% downloaded. So I'll get to test this soon. So I just have a think about what I'm going to do next as well, because so I've compared Steam startup speed, I compared Wine versions, and we're doing Cyberpunk 2077 and Diablo 4. So Diablo 4 is a game that I will. You know what? While I'm doing crossover, let's also try to install. See what happens. I know what's going to happen because someone's told me already that this won't work. Need to move my face. How do I make a new bottle in Whisky? New bottle? Okay, let's call this battle.net. Okay, so this is my new bottle for Whisky. Let's download battle.net Windows. Let's do this. So I want to see what happens if we try to do it, because it doesn't contain the fixes necessary for running specific games. Yeah, so that's done. I'll close this. So within battle.net, I'm gonna run that program and then run the installer. Okay, so someone's saying, I'm looking to go into the Mac world. Should I buy a used or buy an M4 Pro base? Well, no, buying used and buying new, it's really up to you. New, of course, you get the warranty, you get the ability to return. As long as you have the money in your bank, right, there's almost no downside to buying it and then returning it to make sure that you really like it. It's quite an expensive thing to buy a secondhand laptop that you're unfamiliar with. If you have never entered the Mac ecosystem before, the Apple returns policy, it depends on the country that you're in, is extremely safe and good. They will, as long as you don't destroy the MacBook, they will accept your return pretty easily. So I would say that it is worth buying it new, testing it before you even try it. What's happened to my program? Why is it not running? I don't think I can even install Battle.net here. Or does it not like that? I'm running 2 instances of Battle.net online. I bought my first MacBook used M1, but it's up to you. Make sure to check the battery health. Yeah, the battery health is the most important issue. Of course, making sure the keys work, the network works, the Wi-Fi works, that it's not connected to some kind of company management system, MDM. Just make sure that it's not connected to anything in particular. Yeah, I'm using Voxy or Vodafone. It's a type of unlimited 5G network. It is fine, but it's not got good latency. Okay, so this is Battle.net running through Whisky. Yeah, we're going at 30 megabytes per second, which is pretty good. How much? What's 30 megabytes per second? 30 MB per sec to the speed of that. 240 megabit. The new house I'm going to go to has 150 megabit. I don't know if I'm going to get the same 5G connection, but I might just stick to the 250 megabit. So 150 megabit connection. It'll be good enough for most of the time. I should probably download Diablo 4 as well. Okay, good. Yeah, do the diagnostic check. I've never actually done a diagnostic check on a Mac before. But yeah, you should definitely do all the checks that you need. I've sold a lot of Macs. I've never really bought a secondhand Mac before. I quite like having a new Mac, to be honest. I like the feeling of new, even though it doesn't make economic sense. What's happened here? Is it just not installing? Let me look at the Whisky documentation. Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like that. But this is working better. Okay, we'll test this soon. What I need to do is before I launch the game, I need to quit out and then open up the Metal HUD because I've restarted and yeah, I need to do that again. Have you seen what iBuff RCC have done? They basically invented an adapter which will allow people to upgrade their M series and Mac SSDs, only if you know soldering though. Lorenzo, I did see that video. It's very interesting that you can create removable solid state drive storage, but completely irrelevant for most people. It's just, and it's possible, but no one is going to go through and make a third party adapter for those products. Like in the old days, like with the 2017 MacBook Pro, was the last one that had like removable solid state drives, I think. And there was like an adapter where you could push in an NVMe drive. And back in the 2015, 2016, 2017, Apple had their own like proprietary interfaces for the solid state drives, and kind of like use these adapters. You can the Syntec adapter you could buy from Amazon. You plug in you could replace the SSD with a third-party one using this special adapter, which costs you like $10, $20. And I used to do a lot of those upgrades for people for money, right? I used to charge people money and install this adapter, and it'd be far cheaper than getting it through Apple. But this type of the amount of work that's required to get this working on the Apple silicon chips is just way too much, unreliable. And I think that for me, I'm not really into hardware modding my Macs. I don't need to modify my hardware on my Macs at all. I like why I like the iPhone and the MacBook as portable products is that I know that they're very reliable. If you add third party storage and stuff into and introduce these into these portable devices, they reduce the reliability of it so much. Like if I take this MacBook with me and I need it to work when I go traveling or something, and I need it for a business meeting or something. I don't do business, but if I needed it for that, I need to know that when I open the laptop, it's going to work and not be funked up by some kind of third party adapter soldering this, one jolt soldered the move the solder by like 1 nanometer, and then the SSD won't connect, and I can't do this, that, and the other. And I understand that Macs are really expensive. When you want to upgrade to like from 256 to like 512, it's going to cost you $200, which is ridiculous, right? But I think that I'm okay. I'm okay with soldered in solid state drives. I'm okay with that. It would be nice if more MacBooks like the MacBook Pro, I've got like an SD card adapter in here, which I use to add another terabyte of slow storage. So this is only a UHS 1 SD card. So I have an SD card here. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I have Diablo 4 here already on my SD card. Okay, I need to copy this to my thing. That's what I need to do. I need to copy this to my... I was like, I need to copy this here. So I got a copy of the latest versions. No, I'll do that. I'll do that later. Do this later in my own time. Okay, so that's working. So that means I can... So stupid. I can locate my Diablo 4 install. So stupid. Locate the game on my SD card. It needs an update anyway. I guess I haven't opened it for a long time. Yeah, let's see if I kind of want to play Diablo 4 more at the moment because I think it's a bit more newer. Yes, Lorenzo, I'm right. You're right. Maybe the EU will force Apple again to do something for more repairability and expandability to reduce e-waste. I mean, if you buy a MacBook and you only have 256 gigabytes to begin with, it's kind of your own fault. It's not like, you buy a car and then you realize, oh, actually, I needed to carry, I needed like 7-seater, not 5 seats or something. Then you bought the wrong car. You can't just expect the car company to like add 2 more seats for you, and if you can't, then it's e-waste or car waste or whatever. I think that when you buy a computer, you kind of know what's happening to it, and if it's not appropriate for you, it's not necessarily the company's fault. It's like maybe it's on you to put the wrong storage size. I don't know. And the thing is, like, has Apple created more e-waste by not having upgradability or less? Because Apple devices are way more. I don't know what the numbers are on this, but it'd be interesting to hear what are the numbers on e-waste. Because if I have an Apple laptop, right, even a 15-year-old laptop, I will sell that laptop on eBay and I'll get good money for it. Someone's using it, right? People even collect them, right? But some of the trash Chromebooks that I've seen, you buy it for $200, you use it for a year, it gets battered and destroyed. Like my son's school had Chromebooks. Is anyone actually recycling those for anything useful? Is anyone actually doing anything with them? Are they worth anything? It's probably just easier just to throw them in the bin rather than trying to like recycle them for any reason. Some of these Mac computers, laptops you can buy from these big box stores for like $300, right? They're just crap. They just evaporate into nothingness because they're made of plastic and made of nothing. Oh. If it pleases you, plus the M4 Pro has a big increase in power compared to the M3 Pro. Yeah. I don't have an M3 Pro to compare it to. Okay, let's not Diablo Immortal. Let's just play a game first before we do anything funky. Can I continue the download while I don't want to do that. I want to continue the download whilst playing the game. So I don't want to pause. Just want to play. Oh, I need to enable the metal HUD first because otherwise I can't see anything. Let's do this later. Okay. And then we can make sure that battle one that opens. Doubly make sure the metal HUD runs. Do this. Just on the stream, do you want to upgrade to a new MacBook Pro, or is it not worth the upgrade? Personally, judging from Apple's extremely vague graphs, we're only looking at a 10 to 20% increase in GPU power between the M3 and M4 chips. So I don't really see much. I don't see a big deal. I don't see this as a big deal. Much of an upgrade, to be honest. What is an upgrade is the fact that the prices are the same, so it is better because you're not paying more for these upgrades. But I wouldn't necessarily go and upgrade my Mac for the M4. I'm certainly not going to upgrade my M3 Max to an M4 Max. Definitely not, because it's definitely not worth it. Okay, let's try to run this game. Why does this thing update? Bro, can we play Warzone Mobile, just like Assassin's Mirage that you did? No, because Warzone has anti-cheat, which is going to kick you out, I'm afraid, so you can't. What's Metal Performance HUD? If you type in Metal Performance HUD into YouTube, you'll find either my tutorial or Mr. MacBright's tutorial on the same topic, and then you'll see it's this performance HUD on the, if you look in the top right corner, when it loads up, you'll see the metal HUD. It's in basically all of my videos for the last year. That thing on the top right. So I'm playing this with my screen lid closed, so I'm actually doing this through I'm doing this through the OBS preview window, so there's substantial latency, just FYI. If you're curious like why I'm not replying, why I'm not playing very well, it's because it's not a skill issue, okay? It's a latency. Yeah, Metal Performance HUD has been an absolute godsend for being able to display detailed information about frame timing and frame rates. I'm still unsure about exactly what these numbers mean, but there is a thing about how it works. Okay, so we have Diablo 2's working. Let's play. Okay, so
not here.
Okay, let's do a little bit of gameplay. Hey Andrew, could you please test out the new Samsung USB-T flash drive? It supports 400 megabit writing and 110 in read. Surely it's the other way around, right? 110 read. 400 read, 110 writing. That would make more sense. I used to love this game. I remember when it first came out, I was in Taiwan. Just finished like this summer camp type thing, and had a couple of days on my own. And I just went to an internet cafe, and then Diablo 2 had just come out, and I just like played it for like 2-3 days or something ridiculous. And I always played like an Amazon. It works very well. I mean, I should have checked the graphic settings that I'm using. Video is 1080p. Preset is on low. Maybe I'll try high. Why is it locked to 80 FPS? Frame rate target 300. Let's turn off VSync. This is high on VSync. Do you have any Thunderbolt 5 devices to check? I have no Thunderbolt 5 devices. I have a CalDigit TS4, which is a Thunderbolt 4 device. I don't actually know how to check whether that bandwidth is maxed out on that. It is sad that they never did a native. It is sad they never did native Diablo, because like Diablo 3 works great on a Mac. Diablo 4 can work through CrossOver. This is Diablo II Resurrected. Why didn't they release this on a Mac? They released it for the Nintendo Switch. I mean, how hard can it be to get this working on a Mac? Yeah, so this is Diablo 4. No, Diablo 2, sorry. Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's on high at 1080p. It's not bad. Okay, cool. So Diablo 2 works. Let's get Diablo 4 working. Oh, and I even have Diablo 4 running. It was running in the background. Let's launch Diablo 4. Am I right in thinking that Whisky cannot run? Chat, can you help me look up? Whisky can't run Diablo 2 or Diablo 4 through Whisky, right? That's the case? Because I did try to launch it through Whisky and it didn't work. So can someone just check the Discord or whatever, just check that that's the case, because I just want to confirm that before I spend too much time trying to figure out if it can work. Okay, Diablo 4. And next I'm going to do Overwatch, okay, because I just want to see what's going on with it. Is there any native Steam client for Mac? Well, there is a Intel build of the Steam client that does support launching native ARM games. So as far as we're concerned, I think Steam native is no different from Steam not native. I mean, does it really matter if your launcher uses like slightly more CPU than necessary? I don't think it really matters that much. As long as the games that you're launching from there are a native ARM, then it's fine. So I don't really see it as a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Someone keeps commenting about native Witcher on macOS on my YouTube comments on my last video. There's something happening here. Am I supposed to like... Oh, here we are. Okay, let's start the game here. I bought all these games and they haven't played Diablo 4. Anyway, I have to go back to studying. Lorenzo, have a great day and thank you for the cool stream. Very nice. Thank you for joining me today, Lorenzo. It's a pleasure to have you around as always. I'm glad that I can make your... provide a distraction from studying. Have you guys had great experiences on cloud gaming services like GeForce Now? I think there's multiple cloud gaming services: Boosteroid, GeForce Now, Shadow, and Xbox Cloud. Xbox. Okay, so what setting? Okay, let's have a look at the graphics settings. Let's put this at medium, maybe. Medium 1080p. Something's happened here. Okay, good. 70. Let me just turn off VSync. VSync's off. 70 FPS. Not bad. Not perfect. I saw a massive stutter there. But at least it runs. I mean, compared to Whisky, which doesn't run this. I have to take off the HUD so I can't see where I'm going. I literally can't play the game with the HUD off. I need to go up there. I haven't played Diablo 4 at all, really. This is literally as far as I got, level 4. I haven't got out of this like cold biome yet, this cold world, yeah. I really don't want to. I don't want to do a cutscene. I just want to play some real gameplay. Can I teleport? Just want to load it. Oh, let me load up my other character because this is being a bit annoying. I just want a bit of gameplay footage. Let's get to my level 3 Barb. Overall, what is the best system to play Windows games on a Mac? People will keep asking me the same questions over and over again. Okay, good. Let's do this. Oh, here we are. So what have I got? I've got like a big hammer. How do I switch between hammer and... Poor guy. Ah, so I've got hand axe and I've got... I don't want to use the hand axe. How do I switch weapons? Okay, I just want to use the big one, big hammer. Oh, yeah, I need my HUD up. I've got no weapons on. Why am I carrying a big hammer? I can't even use it. I remember when this game first came out, like Oprah Winfrey was really complaining that this game couldn't run Diablo 4 couldn't run on her Apple. She kept calling it Apple. Yeah, I buy a lot of games that I don't play. They're purely for like testing purposes. It's business expense, really. I have to have like a large gaming library in order to test all these games, and it's really hurt my budget quite a lot because all these AAA games that I don't really like. The thing is that when I bought this game, I thought, oh yeah, maybe I will like Diablo 4, you know, because I really like Diablo 2 and Diablo 1. I really like those games like a lot, so I don't really understand why this hasn't really clicked with me in the way that I expected. Yeah, it is a waste in many ways because it's like I don't really know why I bought these games. There are a few games which I've tested which I really like. Like I really like Ghost of Tsushima like a lot. I think that game's great. Okay, good. So this works. Let's try Overwatch 2. Let's see what the hell the problem is with Overwatch 2 while I'm here. Let's see, I need to patch. My wife's brought me a sandwich. Very nice. I'm happy. Salmon. Unfortunately, I can't test games which don't work. The thing is that Forza Horizon is a very highly requested game, and there's no one's got it working yet. It's a real shame because people ask for it so much. I asked this programmer that's doing a lot of Mac game patches. Okay. You know, while we're waiting, right, guys, one thing that you can do. I'm gonna put this guy's YouTube channel in got to do this, right? If you want the guy who's like doing the most work on Mac patches at the moment is Vladimir Prog. Okay, so if you go to if you look in the chat, right, click on the link in the chat. This guy called Vladimir Prog. If you haven't subscribed already, right, go and subscribe to this guy. Okay, now he doesn't have videos per se, but he has produced several patches already, which are amazing, right? Amazing bits of work. Definitely, please go onto his YouTube channel now, subscribe, because he's saying that he's going to release patches to the public, especially the Alan Wake 2 patch, and other future patches like this, right? If he gets to 1,000 subscribers, which is one more step towards monetization of his YouTube channel. So there's a lot of work goes into these patches to make them playable on Apple Silicon Macs. So guys, click on the link in the chat, just subscribe to this guy, get him to 1,000 subs. I'm sure that if you want Forza to run on a Mac, you know, it's contributing, not even giving money, just giving away your free sub to modders like this to help them monetize their accounts. So make sure to do that. So yeah, if you're a machine learning researcher, a Mac with max RAM is perfect. How much RAM is enough for a language learning model? 64, 90, 96, 128? I just bought, for my new PC I'm going to build, I have 128 gigabytes of RAM installed in it. That's expensive. Let me check the Whisky logs. There's a Whisky documentation. Just going to check. There's some specific game fixes that you can load here. This is a good chart for Whisky versus CrossOver. Very good. Game support. Yeah, this is it. Oh, this is a great resource. Let's see what it says about Overwatch 2. Unplayable. Diablo 2. Diablo 4. Unplayable. Don't say anything about Diablo 2. Okay, if we do run this, we need to be running DXVK. I'm pretty sure this won't run because people have been reporting that. And I believe them. Let's have a look at the Mac Gaming subreddit. Mac Gaming subreddit is a constant source of extremely useful information. All these posts about the same game. Some moderators should probably go in and then probably clean that up. This is a valid way of cooling your Mac. If you blow a fan on it, it will do wonders for your speed. Ray tracing. Oh god. Okay, let's test out. We're gonna test out some Overwatch 2, and I'm gonna figure out once and for all why it's not working. Let's see if there are any other games which are on this list which are interesting. I can hear my son playing clarinet. Okay. Maybe we'll load up Elden Ring as well. I'll load up Steam and load up Elden Ring. And that's one example of a game which automates the fairly easy process of having to rename the thing. And let's see what was the other thing that I was looking at. There's another thing which is the other games which work. Counter-Strike 2. Elden Ring. Oh, I want to test out Naraka Blaypoint. That's it. Elden Ring and Naraka Blaypoint. Let's do that. Okay. Let's try Overwatch 2. See what's going on. Does actually Whisky generate income for the dude? I don't think he's doing it for the income. Is there a Patreon? No. Is there a GitHub sponsor? There is a Ko-fi. Coffee. And the GCNX has got a coffee page here. So we've received 1,800 coffees, which sounds like a lot, but it's over a year for how many people use Whisky, which is like the thousands, right? It's not that much money. But I understand he's quite a young guy, so I think he's from my neck of the woods, Camden, London. GSenX doesn't have any info about GSenX's page here. So he's GSenX is one of the contributors to Wineskin Kegworks. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 1 doesn't work. I did try it the other day. I'm having issues with it. Yeah. Yeah, Battle.net is not working at the moment. Hopefully, I really hope this gets fixed. I want to demonstrate it working on the new M4s. What's the issue with Overwatch 2? I don't know what's happened. Just look up Overwatch. Yeah, yesterday's patch. So installing Visual C++, I'm not sure that's working. Yeah, this is not launching, so I'm not expecting this to work. Okay, so we tested out Battle.net. Let's play some Naraka Blade Point as well, which apparently won't work. So, I mean, broadly speaking, the compatibility between CrossOver and Whisky is basically the same, but there are specific games which don't work well. And there's basically a handful, really. So everything else is pretty much just the same. It's just that Whisky doesn't have the crossover fixes for multiple launchers. So Epic Games Launcher, Battle.net, Ubisoft, Connect, Wine9 support, proper technical support. So there's someone you can talk to. I mean, I don't think Codeweaver support will be very helpful, particularly because a lot of the games are attached to launchers, and so it's not. And if something breaks, like Overwatch, I mean, what can Codeweavers do, right? What can Codeweavers do? Did I never install this? Would be nice to install this, I guess. I should have prepped this. Okay, what other game can I? Oh, Elden Ring. Let's do Elden Ring. Okay, so with crossover, Elden Ring can run, can launch without having to mess around with the renaming the anti-cheat exe, which is really just not a big deal. It takes like a minute to do, right? But it is a level of usability which is better than pure Whisky, so it requires workarounds. I mean, yeah, there's differences for sure. There's differences between game porting toolkit, between crossover and Whisky, which they definitely exist. Maybe I should load up an Ubisoft Connect game as well, like Trackmania. Yeah, I'll do Trackmania as well. I'll just add it to my list so I don't forget. Elden Ring and ugh. Do Naraka Blade Point at some point. Can you try Guild Wars 2 using Asahi Linux and compare its performance with Whisky? Yeah, I'm not gonna dig out any. I'm not gonna dig out any more Asahi Linux for now until they do an update. Just find the graphics settings. this on high. Thank you. Okay, so let's load up about Elden Ring. So it's pretty seamless kind of entry into Elden Ring. There's no in game porting toolkit, which was delivered by Apple in their Wine D3D environment. You needed to rename there's an offline exe and an anti-cheat multiplayer online exe. You can't run the multiplayer online exe through game porting toolkit. Okay, so the key with Elden Ring is that you have to wait a few minutes for the frame rate to improve. So this is only 1080p and going at 15 frames per second, but in a minute it'll jump up to like 30 or 60, I think. I mean, we are running on high. Let's give that a moment. Andrew, what do you recommend when purchasing a Mac for gaming? More RAM or more GPU cores? Definitely minimum of 16 gigabytes of RAM and as many GPU cores as you can afford. Yeah. Will there be videos about this topic instead of just stream VODs? Yes. The purpose of this video is to make... what the hell? Ooh. Oh, I see. The frame rate increased. See, it went from like 15 to 60 nearly. Just have to wait about 1 minute. Why don't you get a huge 8 terabyte external storage drive, external drive and store your games there? I want to have one NAS. Okay, a NAS is basically an 8 terabyte drive times 10, right? So that's what a NAS is basically, but it's network attached. So that means that when I do my testing, right, I have one cable. I plug in one cable, and that connects up the laptop to all of the devices, including the NASs, right? And when the NAS is attached, it means that I can get access to all of the games in basically about 3 clicks. And I don't have to faff around with downloading, and I can use different computers to keep those games up to date. I can even have multiple computers attached to the same Steam library at the same time. Obviously that will reduce performance, but it's fine. Okay, this is good. 50 frames per second, Elden Ring. Yeah. See, Elden Ring will run on just fine on Whisky. Okay, let's quit. My internet speed is much slower than my storage speed, so that's why I want to store as much data as possible locally so that I can test games quickly. Because otherwise I'll just spend ages just... Also, constantly reattaching and attaching external storage is really bad for the Steam library. It can easily corrupt if you do it, especially when you're in the middle of running a game. If you just knock your solid state drive by accident, it's terrible. Okay, what else can we run? Yeah, so Miguel Milano, I'm gonna run Asahi Linux again once they do the update. So Asahi Lina did a live stream recently where she replaced the sommelier window management, which is like crashing the Steam virtual machine all the time, right? Really annoying. And it was really annoying. And I will do an update video once that sommelier bug gets fixed, basically, which will massively increase stability of gaming on the Mac. And what kind of NAS are you using? I talked about this about an hour ago. Basically, I've got NAS I've got a NAS. I've got two NASs locally here. They're TS664s and they contain like 10 or 12 terabyte hard drives each. So that's 6 times 12 and 6 times 10. So that's 60 plus 72, which is 132 terabytes of space. What old games aren't working on new crossover on Macs? There's lots of old games that don't work very well, especially 32-bit DirectX 9 games. They're pretty terrible. Ironically, the newer games perform better because there's more compatibility with the 64-bit CPU architecture and ARM64 chips, so there's less translation involved. I wonder how this is going to take. So I do want to run Naraka Blade Point because this is one of the games that's been listed as working well. Let me just see. What does Whisky say about it? It must be a point of annoyance here. They don't even have Naraka Blade Point. Apple has a lot of potential in AI. NVIDIA can sell or whatever price that they like because of CUDA. Yeah. NVIDIA are like the world's most valuable company now, right? Okay, while I'm waiting for this, let's install let's install a game which doesn't run. So like Ubisoft. Let's run Trackmania. VR gaming on the Mac. So there's a guy who does a lot of VR content on Mac called King Volpez. He runs Half-Life Alex through Virtual Machine. I did say I was going to try this. I kind of run out of time actually because I need a VR headset. I only have a Quest 1. Really need a Quest 3 to make this good. Miguel, do a lot of people still play Guild Wars 2? Is this still a very popular game? I'm not aware of this. Is it possible that the Dynasty Warrior Origin game will be able to cross over when it's released? I have no idea whether that's going to happen or not. Okay. I don't own any of the Prince of Persia games. I can't try that at the moment, but I guess we'll try others. I know that Trackmania will work. Mercifully, only 3 gigabytes. I don't think I'll be testing out Naraka Blade Point today. I think probably need to quit out of this, get some good performance. I will try that out a bit later. Detroit Become Human doesn't work, right? Yeah, that doesn't work at the moment because ironically it's because it uses Vulkan. So They might have a trial. A trial of what game we were talking about here? Not sure what we're talking about here. Can I try Assassin's Creed Syndicate? The previous crossover preview still had graphics issues. Maybe a bit later I'll try that. Syndicate. Is that another game on the list? They have Ass Creed games here. That's the first game, isn't it? No info on the rest. See, Ubisoft Connect launch is not bad. It just doesn't complain so much about games being on or off. I only have I know 1800. Maybe I have to download this again. I don't have time to download more games. I need to. What's annoying about this is that I should really quit out of Ubisoft Connect first, so the bottle can finish. So I need to. So if I don't exit, then this crossover will never complete the bottle, and I can't. I need that to complete the install. Yeah. So Battlefront 2 is another game. You need the EA. You need to install the EA app for Steam, or the EA app within the bottle for it to authenticate correctly. Okay, good. Prince of Persia. Which Prince of Persia game are we talking about? The Lost Crown? There's no way to play Warzone on a Mac. I mean, basically, right? All you guys asking me for testing games can only test what works, right? And I'm not a genius hacker person. I don't really know how to fix games. I just know that if somebody has a fix, then I can kind of help amplify that out and understand it and test it myself a little bit. But at the end of the day, I'm just like combining fixes that other people have made together. I'm not really the one making the fix. I don't make fixes. I just collect them, digitally hoarding them in one place. So less helpful than you think. Okay, where's... Can't see what I'm doing. What am I doing here? How do I do this without upgrading? Okay, so I'm gonna put my face back. Just my settings video. Okay, so Trackmania is one of those games which you can obviously run through CrossOver because it has that Ubisoft Connect working for it. It's not bad. It just plays pretty well through the OBS crossover, the OBS preview window. Got like massive latency because I have to run this, you know, my PC has to like render this through HDMI, which is pretty cool. I do want to get Naraka Blade Point working, but I don't think I'm going to have to be able to like do this properly. What? Let's try again. Let's try with a bunch of other players. Faster. I think we capped it at 150 frames per second. You don't really need it faster than that. Okay, exit. So Ubisoft Connect games work. So basically everything that works through Ubisoft Connect will work here too. So games like I guess Syndicate will work. I wonder how big Syndicate is. Do I own this game? I don't have an Ubisoft subscription anymore, so I don't think I can play it. Or do I own it? I think I own it. I do not remember buying this game. My driving skills are terrible. I do have a substantial latency. Ah, it's too big to download. I can't be bothered to do it right now. I want to get Naraka Blade Point working though. Yeah, I think so. Don't have time to test all this stuff. I wonder if there's anything else on the list apart from Naraka Blade Point, which is going to require a 40 gigabyte download. I think what I might do is run, I might run a bit of Rocket League for just a minute, just to demonstrate that it's working. Because this allows you to run Epic Game Store games. This allows you to run Epic games without using Heroic. So you can use Heroic, which is an open source launcher, to run this. But with CrossOver Preview, you have the ability to run this directly through CrossOver. So no other thing is required. Do this. Come on, where's my code? I think I'll have to test out Naraka Blade Point later. You know what? Because I'm not testing Whisky anymore, I want to get my Mac out so I can actually get some good footage. Get this working nicely. Just can't see my head. I get this to mirror again because it's better. And then let's load up some Rocket League. I didn't mess anything up. Let's maybe reload Epic Games Launcher again. A lot of these launchers, they don't, you don't want to combine screen mirroring and, try to run something through Wine at the same time. It's a recipe for disaster. Come on. Maybe even turn off the metal HUD on this top right corner. I think maybe the metal HUD's killing it a bit. Let me try this again. Let's try this again. Let's turn off the metal HUD. So you can see that it's nice that this is using DirectX 11 to run this launcher. It's kind of unnecessary though. Rocket League. So let's see if I can load my network install of this. Games, Epic Windows. Rocket League, here we go. Does it like it? Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali. Yeah, I got loads of messages. Is Diwali today? Diwali today? What are you doing for Diwali? Fireworks? Food? Family? Lots of stuff going on, right? Very exciting. I should probably test out one more game on Whisky. I've got Cyberpunk footage. What else do I need? Oh, damn, you're back. I am back, yeah. What is Athava? What does Diwali mean to you? I'm not very familiar, but my son started attending this grammar school, and it's like probably 80 or 90% like Indian, mostly Hindus, and it's interesting learning about this this culture, which in his previous school it was probably only like 5 or 10% Indian. Okay, why is it taking so long to install? Dear me. Okay, no, I'm not doing this right now. Let's do Elden Ring through Whisky. If I do that, then it means that I have to stop mirroring, which is annoying. I think I have to do this footage from... And this becomes the main display. And then this lid comes down. And then Whisky comes up. I think this will be the last thing I test is basically Elden Ring. Just want to show the error message that comes up. It's the day Prince Rama came back from the banishment after slaying the Demon King Ravana. We Indians celebrate this day as victory over evil and darkness. Specifically darkness, right? Because the light eliminates the darkness, maybe? Fights the darkness. Okay. Okay, I want to demonstrate what happens when you try to run Elden Ring. I think the last time I tried this, it crashed when I tried to do a mirror display, so I'm not going to bother doing that. Light equals good, dark equals evil. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, I still haven't had word about my new house yet. What are the keys for my new house? It is after 12. It's installing something. Let's stop the Naraka play point. Synchronizing cloud at the moment. I'm just going to use the toilet and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and this is a pretty unexpected error. So, when you launch Elden Ring on Whisky, you need to apply the fix where you go and let me see. You basically go and you have to swap the Elden Ring and start protected game.exe files, and then you'll be able to launch it through Steam just fine. Performance is basically identical. Let's load up another game which might work. Let me see, what's a good game we can demonstrate a little bit of? Let's see if we can get controller support to work. I do want to play some Ghost of Tsushima. Wi-Fi was lagging. What was the response to my question? What question did you ask? Would I test Little Nightmares 2? Nah, I'm not going to test that. Not an interesting game to me. Doesn't Little Nightmares 2 have a Mac port? No, it's not. Sony estimates, yeah, so the M4 Max is going to run about 20% faster. All the M chips have about 10 to 20% faster CPU performance. Let's see this working. Now, in terms of like the base, I have no idea really. It's similar to what the base, basically gaming is basically proportional to the number of GPU cores. Basically, when I've ordered the new M4 Pro chips, right, and we're going from 10 to 20 to 40, so that's the configuration I've ordered, and I expect the majority of games, right, to run linearly the amount of GPU cores involved. So I expect the M4 Max with 40 GPU cores to run 4 times faster than the base M4 with only 10 GPU cores. That's how it's been for a long time. God of Work. Does God of Work run? No. Okay, shaded compiling. I think I'd like to test out Naraka Blade Point at some point. Today's Halloween. Does anyone have any Halloween plans in addition to Diwali plans? I can see there's live streams happening in Japan and right now of Halloween parties. I think Halloween's banned in China. That's what I've heard. That you're not allowed to celebrate any kind of American festivals in China. It's crazy. So, what's my favorite Apple product? Well, obviously the MacBooks are amazing, but the thing that I use absolutely the most is definitely my iPhone. I have an iPhone 15 Pro. I haven't upgraded, and I think if you had to deprive me of everything in life, I'd probably want my phone the most to keep that instead. And then it'll be my MacBook, and then it'll be my PC. I think in terms of like computing products that are important to me, I think the MacBook is extremely valuable in terms of like good value, reliable. What I like about the MacBook is it's extremely reliable. I've had so many crap laptops in the past, which are Windows computers. They half an hour on battery. Sometimes I open it up and it's been on the whole time on my back because something's activated the thing. How's the comparison going so far? It is exactly as expected. The games perform. I did a benchmark for Cyberpunk 2077, and it basically performs identically. I cannot really see. I cannot really see an actual difference in performance, but the main difference is in compatibility. So it's really all about different levels of compatibility. I'm using my controller to play this game, which is cool. It's different levels of compatibility. So there's lots of games which don't work on a Mac just because, on Whisky, just because it doesn't support the correct level of wine. This is a beautiful game. I'm just going to run around a bit. So Ubisoft Connect games like Trackmania won't work. Diablo 2, Diablo 4, because the Battle.net launcher doesn't work. Obviously, Overwatch 2 doesn't work due to various other issues. So this is Whisky running Ghost of Tsushima with the F16C patch, and this is working fine. So as far as actual comparisons, you know, there's a major difference in the level of wine, but that's more to do with compatibility rather than speed. I can't really see a speed issue. I'm going to do terribly at this because I'm running this through OBS preview, so I've got latency. This requires a lot of reaction time. Ah, got it. Will I try Kegworks? Yes, I will try Kegworks at some point. I don't really see a huge value in it at the moment because Kegworks, everything I can do in Kegworks, I can do in CrossOver. I can actually play this game with even with this lag. I even got a perfect parry there. Okay, I do have the ability to I can play this game. Even with the latency. Ooh. What's happening here? Major lag spike. What's the best way to lower resolution in games? Yeah, well, I have a whole tutorial on using something called Switch Res X, which is a way of establishing custom resolutions in the game. So yeah, changing your desktop resolution and setting a full screen res, that is the best way. If the game supports FSR, then that's a really good way of using upscaling to lower the resolution. This is this is like stuttering a weird amount. I'm not sure what's stuttering so hard. Is this normal? This doesn't happen on my other computer. I'm just trying. Why is it stuttering so bad? I don't really want to lock the FPS because I want to run this with an unlocked FPS. Yeah, it's stuttering really bad. Like that was bad. That was really bad. I don't understand what's... What I'm going to do is I'm just going to try this. But I never lock the FPS. Okay, I'll try that. Can't see because of the chat. Refresh rate 100. So this is a VSync on. You can play Ghost of Tsushima on a Mac. As long as you've got 16 gigabytes or more. Like here, I'm using 11 gigabytes of space. Of RAM. So it is pretty bad. I wonder if the stuttering will happen again now that I've set the VSync on. Yeah, I've tested Ghost of Tsushima on 8 gigabytes on the M1 with my MacBook Air, and it's terrible. Okay, so don't bother trying it. It could run. The GPU power's there. It just doesn't have enough RAM. Remember, the RAM has to be shared with the system memory. It has to be shared with the VRAM, the video memory, and it has to be shared with the game as well. This is really stuttery, really bad. Okay, I'm gonna try. I set VSync on. Let's save the game, and then I'll just run this through CrossOver as well. Just see if there's any difference. Was this download running the whole time? That would definitely affect performance if it did. I don't think there would be a performance difference. That's because of this stupid download thing. Just run this again. Because I really expect this to be exactly the same. What do I think about Cyberpunk on the M1 Air? Right, unlikely. Just because if you go to Steam and go to Cyberpunk 2077, the minimum requirements is 12 gigabytes of RAM. If you go here, right, it says you need 12 gigabytes of RAM as a minimum. So if you don't have that, then you're not going to run this game. And Macs are going to be no different, you know? Yeah. That decryption, not decryption, downloading of the game is definitely going to affect performance. We don't need VSync on. Let's just load up again. Yeah, because there shouldn't be any real performance difference between these two games. It's more about compatibility and the ability to use the GPU. Yeah, I just don't think that that's going to happen. Yeah, let's do the real Whisky test.
Masako said to find the monk in charge of his camp. He may be able to read the map I found on the traitor's brother.
This is a beautiful game. Have any of you guys played Ghost of Tsushima? It's pretty awesome game. Like, it's beautiful. looking at this game, and I've played quite a lot of it, probably 10 hours or so. And yeah, lovely title. Can't play Age of Empires 4 on the Mac at the moment. CrossOver Preview, the latest version, does have fixes for Age of Mythology multiplayer. Maybe I should run that too, because yeah, I think for some reason, because I have the Steam set up so that it's not downloading, but I must have hit the download button manually for Naraka Blade Point, and it did like 10% of it already. So that's definitely an issue. This guy's trying to fake me out. Ouch. Oh, free me. Yeah, no stuttering anymore. So I just don't think this will be any different from... The FPS is low, probably because in a different area.
You should avoid the swamps near Numata settlement. The Mongols are hiding there.
Strategic location. Perfect to launch raids.
Yeah, new Dragon Age is coming out.
Traveling from Castle
When does the new Dragon Age come out? Is it like
There, are you?
I don't have much of a choice.
in an hour or two? What is it? I mean, I think that I looked at the Where Winds Meet 5 p.m. UK time, CET, Central Eastern Time, so that's what 4 p.m. here. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure... Okay, I'm going to quit out of this. So that is Ghost of Tsushima running on Whisky. Let's just close that. Okay, so let's just run. Okay. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining the stream. I'm going to be doing this Whisky and CrossOver video probably in a part 3 at some point in the near future. I've got the keys for my new house, so I'm going to go and check it out. Thank you for joining today, and maybe come have like a part 3 when I get around to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Very excited about my new house keys. Bye-bye.